where everybody knows your name. Laughter fills the air like a sweet refrain. Sit and share a story, but I drink or two. In this cozy bar, where dreams come true, where smiles and friends remain, and good times ease the pain. Here we go again.
Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? Botrix has correctly joined the channel. Guess who? Is it the baldy fellow with the glasses, or is this a completely different game of Guess Who? It's Mandy. In there first. Tourellement. Angie, how you doing? You okay? How are we? There will be sneeze breaks. I can feel it already. I'm going to have to reset Twitch for Wednesday because it's not working. So to the 6,000 people who would be watching me on Twitch, I apologise. It's hell with the consequences. What are we on now? Mandy, Angie and Bot makes 3. They do indeed. Very nice. Bloody hell, it's warm. It is warm. I know I've just got out the shower and that, but it's warm today, even though we're at the arse end of that little bit of the hurricane that makes its way across the Atlantic to us. We are there at the moment. Very windy. Jaunty hat angle. It's very jaunty, isn't it? That better? I'm not sure I could get away with that jaunty and angle. That takes some minerals, that takes some chutzpah, etc. I cannot get rid of this cold for the life of me. I can't get rid of it. I'm swimming in Lemsip and I still can't get rid. Rather Robin Hoodish. Do I need a feather sticking out, do I? Do I need to ride through the glen? Pretty warm over in Maryland as well. It's weird because it shouldn't be warm here. It's very, very autumnal. Very windy. There's been loads of rain. You would expect it to be cold, and yet it's not. And ever since the weather forecasters, they said last week, oh, we're in for some nice weather. Well, we had a really nice day yesterday, but it has pissed down pretty much every other time since. I did get out though. I got out and got some pictures and got some video, which I'm delighted with. There's me problem. Drink it, don't swim in it. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. As many as I'm allowed to have in one day, I'm having. I had one 40 minutes ago now. 40 minutes. Windy as F all day. It still is now. That's why I can't open the window. I'd be out there within seconds. Donald, how you doing? You alright? I bet you it's windy where you are. Jeez. You get it all first, don't you? West coast of Ireland has the entire Atlantic Ocean to strengthen itself up and hit bloody Ireland on that west coast. Well, it tries to. The cliffs of Moher and things like that get in the way. But it is very, very mocha mindy. I was down the front earlier decided I had to get out and just have a bit of a sit down in the car. And it's not a massive car, but it's fairly hefty, and it was getting blown everywhere. And I don't mean that in a paused car park at 2 o'clock in the morning kind of way. It was very strange. Everyone seemed to be quite happy though, in a strange upbeat mood, despite the fact that they were getting sandblasted from every direction. Windy, a little bit of rain as well while I was there, just a little bit. You couldn't see anything, you couldn't see Blackpool or the Fens. All good there. The power and the internet was out for a while. Jesus. Ali will be in a few. No worries, no worries. Irwitha isn't sheltering you at all. It's probably just, it's hitting that and then dipping down over the top of it, isn't it? Straight at yours. But if it wasn't there, it would be worse. Had the day off work today because the weather was too crap. Well deserved. Well deserved. You can't be working in that. It's not healthy for you, man. I found a channel as well on YouTube. Some middle-aged woman who turns out she's from Southport as well, who is going off in caravans and living her best life, going on treks and whatever. She's always in North Wales. And watching it is pissing me off because if she can drive there from the same town and get all these fantastic trips and hikes all over Erury, why can't I? Alright, I know I've had a stroke like but it's making me very, very want to get out there-y. Is that a phrase? Want to get out there-y. Yep, hope the power stays good. Ginger's crossed. Went for a drive, that was fun. I bet you it was in this weather. As I said, I just went down to the beach earlier and that was bad enough. I'm at sea level. I could even see the sea. Wasn't that far away. Power only came on less than an hour ago. Perfectly timed. Yeah, let's hope it stays on now. You don't need that going off, especially at night. You can get away with it during the day when there's stuff to do and you can have a mooch about, go for a drive and what have you, but not of a night when you need it. That simply will not do. It was weird. It kept me up last night. Kept me awake last night, sorry. Kept me awake last night. Because between us, we're a fully detached house with the last one on the row. Between us and next door, there's 2 gates, one either side, and then there's the fence, and that fence, it's well made, but it makes so much noise when we've got windy days. That was very loud last night. And it's pretty much next to where I sleep as well, down there. This wall behind me, that's the end of the house. Beyond that is next door. Well, there's a gap and then next door, so it makes loads of noise. But it was Saturday night, Sunday morning, so it's no big deal really, is it? I managed to stay in bed, get some actual sleep. I've got to sort my whiteboard out. Jess has sent me a rota for the week. I'll have to get that written down so I know where it is, where she is on any given day. Friday she's off. Friday. I don't know whether or not I might take Friday off. I wonder. Not too much damage in your area, just a few broken branches. Yeah, I suppose you're used to it. The wind must blow so much there. There's bugger all else to break. except a few overturned cars. Right? Just casually thrown in there. A few overturned cars because of the wind. Steve-o, you did wooden wedges. I think I might at some point this week see if I can get hold of some and get out there and chillax it a bit. Let's see if the jukebox stays fixed, Mandy. Wedges fall out with the wind wobbles. No. Wedges wobble, but they don't fall down. Hang on, that's not that, is it? They were weebles. No overturned cars this year, thankfully. That's heavy if it's turning cars over. I was surprised. I drove down Falkland Road, I think it was, which is tree lined. And as I was driving down there, there's leaves everywhere. But I thought, oh shite, I shouldn't have come here just in case one of these trees falls down. They are very, very old trees though. They seem to be fairly strong. So I've not seen an overturned tree yet. Also, no wheelie bins, despite the fact that tomorrow is supposed to be green bin day. It might not be anymore. Was last week the last of it? Might have been the last one, I don't know. So far. Has it been bad on the west? It has been pretty bad where we are. The northwest. Mandy said it's been the same there. Ireland, definitely. It hits strong on the west coast, and then by the time it gets to the east, hopefully it's blown itself out a little bit. Yep, hello to Helen, the Norfolk correspondent, doing remarkable work in the field. And our Ruby Roo. Calming down out west there, still breezy enough. It's supposed to calm down a little bit. Hopefully. I think Tuesday is supposed to be really still. If it is, I need to get out and do some filming because it's almost, well, it was impossible to get out and do anything earlier. I could stand there, I could film, you wouldn't be able to hear me. Even with the muff, you still wouldn't hear anything. We took the brunt. We got your back, man. Been wet and breezy, nothing too bad. You can get away with wet and breezy, not when it's, 50 odd kilometres an hour. Pretty heavy. To the point where when you stood there in it, it takes your breath away. Yes, how are you, Steve? How are you? And you are welcome. Ipswich 0, Everton 2. You are welcome. I wasn't expecting it. I did have a look. Hang on. Where's my thingamajig? I did have a look with about 10 minutes to go. Ipswich were 100-1 to win the game, and I was very tempted to throw a tenner on because I know how it normally works with Everton. So very tempted, but I didn't, and we won, which is a Brucey bonus. Your bird feeders are horizontal. What does that tell you? It tells you that it's very, very windy. Poor birds, man. Fair to middling is about the best we can hope for at the moment. Got over 70 miles an hour far out west. 70s, that's such a pain in the arse though. We had to beat them, we did. We've definitely got to beat the teams around us and below us, which is pretty much every year. If you can do that, you stand a good chance of staying up. Those are the archetypal 6 pointers. Have we been watching airplanes? Hang on. Have they been coming in sideways? I wanted to watch that earlier. They were doing was it Manchester? Airliners Live were doing Manchester, I think it was. Storm Ashley Live. But Rise and Damp was on, so I watched that instead. Mandy's still got bird feeders. Well, she did until about 10 minutes ago. They may be in someone else's back garden now. Big Jet TV this morning as well. They're amazing. The skill of those pilots is absolutely incredible. Crabbing into the wind, going sideways. How can you possibly land this? And then bang, down they come. A creamy touchdown. Empty at the moment. Didn't fancy going outside. Even if you filled them, they'd still be empty within seconds anyway. Everything would have just blown out of them. No es bueno, man, as they say in Japan. I haven't checked on ours today. I should have checked early, but I didn't. Not even sure it's still there. That's how windy it's been today. Poor things. I will check in the morning. What time? I've got to take Jess at 8:30. She's in tomorrow, so I'll be home for before 9 o'clock. Depending on what the weather's like, I might jump in the back garden and have a quick look. The mice would have got a good feed, they would. At which point the owls would have got a big feed off them as well. And all the raptors. Haven't seen one of them for a while. I did hear owls. This is going back about a month ago though. I went for my walk. And it was starting to get dark and I could hear them. And by the time I got back home it was dark and you could hear them everywhere. But you never get to see them. Hear them hooting, you don't hear them when they're flying because obviously they don't make a noise, do they? Mandy, your feeders are wired to the pole. And they're like, it's better than that. It's like milkshake being boys to the yard and everything. Which is sunk into concreted into a sunken tub. They're fairly safe. That is such a clunky phrase to say when you're in my condition. My feeders are wired to the pole, which is concreted into a sunken tub. They're fairly safe. There you go, it's much easier. The wind was noisy as hell last night. It was oddly relaxing. All my family, apart from my sister, loved the sound of windy nights. It helps them sleep. My sister is absolutely scared shitless by them. She hates it. And it just kept me up last night, which was a pain, but no biggity. No biggity bong. What's the story? A little bit breezy out there. It is. A wee bit breezy. Steve, you're surrounded by owls and birds of prey. I am not surprised where you are. There's plenty of hunting ground around there, isn't there? And apparently that's the reason why there's always at least one tree in every major field or every major set of fields on a farm. That's where your birds of prey go and sit up in the top branches and look what's going on. Always keep one there, otherwise you are making a big mistake. Ali didn't get blown away. Close, but not yet. Not blown away yet. You love owls. Some of them are massive. They are. They're huge. And they've got really long legs, which it doesn't look like they have, but they have really long legs. When you pull the skirt up, you know, the feathers, the feathery skirt that they've got, when you pull them, the legs are really long. It's really strange. I didn't realise how big they were either, but there was a picture on Twitter of some woman holding one, and it was the size of a bubble car. It was massive. Huge. Huge with a capital H. You're still in Ireland and you haven't blown all the way over here. Think yourself lucky. It could happen. One of these days it could happen. Jesus. It is warm. Very warm. It was about 18 degrees earlier. Your shift, fair enough. You can have the shift. I will even piggly ding you. Don't pull owls' legs. They have no sense of humour. They haven't. I would have thought you'd have found a hoot as well. Wouldn't you? A hoot.
Very poor. Very poor indeed.
That needs to be resized. Steve, when you were a kid, your dad would tell us if it's wet and windy outside and you're in bed, imagine if you were 2 miles from home on your bike with a puncture, you soon go to sleep. That is very, very smart. It is. Think about it that way. It's horrible. It's horrible, yeah. Try being outside, innit? It's not that bad, really, is it? Definitely. Wind's blowing east. You could fly in this direction. You could. It was definitely blowing from Ireland earlier when I was down by the front. I tried to get a nice sunset, but there was just too much cloud, too much. Usual for Mandy, a bucket of tea and coke. A bucket of tea. I have me tea. And as you can see by that Vic Reeves clip, that was done literally seconds before I started the stream. Otherwise it would have been sized much better. Remind me to do that later. I didn't even check. What an absolute half-wit. Man, you've forsaken the goo. You've got Cadbury flake dessert. Disgraceful behaviour. The goo speculoos sponge pudding is, oh my word. I've got one left. Is that when Bob comes out as a Newcastle striker? It wasn't. This is from the very first episode of Vic Reeves' Big Night Out. That one, what was his name in that? Tubby Brewster. He mixed it up, didn't he, between them? The best centre forward that the Mort has ever had. Kick, head, smirk. Love Bob. I didn't get Vic Reeves' Big Night Out the very first time I watched it. I was sober. And then the second time I watched it, I was pissed. And it clicked with me. I thought, all right, I get this now. And then I watched it sober again and it still clicked. I've been a fan ever since. Kick, head, smirk. Sounds like me dad, that one he played. Steak and chips for a pre-match meal. A load of ale. 20 Rothmans afterwards. Different world, man. What's on the end of the stick? Vic. Brilliant. Stupid, but brilliant. I always like Judge Lionel Nutmeg as well. Spin, spin, spin the wheel of justice. See how fast the bastard turns. What more can you ask for? Bit of Bows and O's by Spencer J. Oice. It is the right show, man. It is the exact same show that came from Vic Reeves' Big Night Out. And if you listen to Bob's autobiography, when he talks about meeting Jim, Vic Reeves. He was doing all this upstairs in a pub to about 20 or 30 people, and it was exactly the same. They just took the show from there and they stuck it on Channel 4 in front of about 300 people. Yeah, Ali, you were in Tesco and it's a no-go zone. It's not on. It is not on. How's the fruitcake, Ali? Is that Ali? How's the fruitcake, or how is the fruitcake, Ali? The fruitcake. You couldn't handle Ali if she surprised you, especially not with her shot. Louise, evening all. Sorry you're late. You're never late. Power cut and your phone died. That's just. We're saying. It's been absolutely horrible on the west coast of Ireland. That's where the first thing, where it makes landfall, but it's been pretty bad here as well, hasn't it? Must be awful where you are as well. Definitely. Complaint. You need to put a proper complaint in. Who put that on the dookie? Good question. Someone did. All okay now, Louise? Oi, oi. You lucky people. It's the power back. We got to take the power back. What have I got? I've got to do something tonight and I can't think what it is. The worst thing about a power cut is no internet. Yeah. Which is why I'm quite happy to have a fair amount of data on my phone, thankfully, and also that little MiFi, the mobile Wi-Fi thing. I've got the little router, comes in very handy, very handy. You're back on now, but you're all out of puff from blowing all the candles out. Out of puff. I can hear you saying that as well. Seen footage of Blackpool earlier, it looked rough as a bear's paw's ass. Steve, Blackpool always looks rough. It is rough. Another reason why they've got hats there with "Kiss Me Quick" written on it. Kiss me quick, I want to get out of this shithole. There's nothing wrong with Blackpool, but I'm from Southport, aren't I? So it's a little bit of rivalry between the two places. I am going to make that video as well. Love letter to the UK seaside towns. I'm just struggling to try and come up with enough. I've got a few lines I want to say and a few little bits and pieces, but I want to make it into something decent. Not just like a 3-minute short. I want to do a proper vid about it. But it's going to take loads and loads of planning and practicing. I did get a couple of shots yesterday though, which I was happy with. Those kind of shots. I made a short out of them, but those kind of shots I want to make. I also want one where I should have got some tonight where it's rainy and windy and miserable and looks horrible because that's what everyone thinks it's like. It's not. It's nice. Is it your birthday, Louise? Is that what it is? All the candles, blowing out the candles, and then blowing the froth off your beer. You want to play it with that, love? You went to data, but your phone needed charging, of course. The power bank wasn't charged. Must be more prepared. You should be, if you're living in the middle of nowhere, with Heathcliff knocking on the door every 5 minutes. Always have a fully charged power bank. They are fairly cheap as well, aren't they? I've got a topped on, which is what you use for starting your car, but you can also use it as a massive power brick, which comes in handy. That was only 50 quid. Only, I know, only, but for something which starts your car and you can use as a power bank. It's quite handy. Mandy, you put it on along with a variety of genres. There's loads on there, isn't there? Something short and stiff, please. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. Steve, if you're saying nothing, let's hear it. Any help for Louise's request? Don't look at me. I'm not admitting to that. Mandy, you're the same. Power banks that are uncharged, which are useless when you need them. %. The only reason why this is not fully charged is because I haven't plugged it in yet. And I've got a massive, massive brick up there as well, which lasts for months, I tell you. In fact, I'm going to charge this now while we're on here. Plunged in. If you've got them, charge them. That's what I say. Ready, willing and able. You put some Tin Lizzy on yesterday. Any better? Power bricks are good, they are. I think my one... Keep an eye out on Amazon. They're always doing deals on them. I got a really big, thick one. Chunky one it is. Very, very handy. Lasts for ages. Sub to me on Twitch. Yes, sub to me. I'm not on at the moment though because of settings and shizzle. I'll have to try and work that one out. Jenksy, what about you? How's it going, Arkhead? You'd now like to emphasise the word brick, as in thick as a. Yes, how's things in the attic, the Irish attic? It's blowy. It's always blowy where you are. Have car park will blow. Yes, Jackie, are you windswept? Very windswept, I would have thought today. It would take the head off you. Proper. It's entendres a go-go at the moment. It is. I remember when I worked in the pub, we had an offer on spirits. Some woman came in and asked for a double entendre, so I give her one. Is this thing on? How's the weather where you all are? It is very, very windy where I am. Apparently it's also very windy where Mandy is. Steve's got a little bit better of the weather, a bit wet, little bit windy, but not too bad. Half of Ireland is blown off into the sea, where Donald is, apparently. Cars upside down and all kinds of stuff. No power anywhere. Heathcliff is knocking on the window for Louise, asking to be let in. She's telling him to piss off. Standard, really. Because it's like that, and that's the way it is. I bet you it's mad up there as well on the fells, isn't it? Up on the fells and the hills and the mountains. Whether it's the mountains in the Lake District, Urwitha, Scarfell, Pike, anywhere like that. but yet it's horrible. Benjamin Nevis, to give him his full title. Jackie is always interesting. She is very, very interesting. And slightly terrifying as well at the same time. Anyone who hides in wardrobes to escape the police, gotta watch them, know what I mean? Dodgy. Windy is the general consensus, I would have thought so. One of those days where you take your dog for a walk like that. No power, no. You've been lucky with so far with the electric where you are. Be thankful. Be definitely thankful for that. Gobshites going for a swim earlier in Salt Hill. There will always be people doing that. When you get warned, stay away from the water. There is a severe risk to life. I'm going for a swim. Yeah, of course. And then when you get into trouble, what happens? Someone's got to come and help me out. Someone's going to come and risk their life to save you because you were a dick. The same as those half-wits that want to go with Ben Nevis in the middle of February wearing flip-flops. You're never going to be normal ever again. Good. Normal is so mainstream, we don't want that. Someone's looking at digging the gob. Not me, obviously. Back now, weird thing was the power went off and all you could hear was sirens. Police were hot-footing it to the nearest station with a working kettle. Good thinking. My hat is a distraction. Is that working? Is that better? Rim all up or all down? Half and half should be left to chips and rice. Should be. And to sexuality, of course. It's defo half rice, half chips, la. Jackie's not terrifying. You have to be stern with her and let her know who's boss. I'm not brave enough to do that. I've met Northern Irish women. Not a chance. I don't want to see those evil eyes peering out of a trilby. Out of a balaclava. Just read trilby, didn't I? Fuck's sake. You know what I mean. Balaclava. There you go. Jackie wants something long and stiff. We've both sides of the equation on this one, haven't we? The long and the short of it. Much better. This was very, very last second. I couldn't decide what to wear. Obviously. It's a trilby, that's how it should be. There was a boss picture on Twitter earlier of some fella in Preston. There's a Caribbean club in Preston, and he's been taking pictures in there for years. And there's a Jamaican fella stood at the bar ordering, and he looks incredible. He's got a pork pie hat on, suit, black coat, looked incredible. I was so jealous. You said there's a picture of the fruit loaf. Ooh, Ali Ali-O fruit loaf. I know it's a bit dark that because I've got an ND filter. Gone. Yeah, so I've got an ND filter on the camera to make sure that it doesn't get blown out from behind me. So you should still be able to see me, which I apologise for, but so many hats, so little time. I need more hats. What's a pork pie hat? One of them. That's a pork pie hat. Oh, hang on. Donald.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
It's there. Level 5. Like what I'm wearing, but a thinner rim. Oh, sorry. Didn't think you had anything around you to blow away. There's always something to blow away. Even if it's just grass and bits of cliff and things like that. Level 5, it's a good level. I like it. Good level. There's a few things, yes, including cars apparently. That you don't want that, do you? Come out of the house of a morning after having a rough night to see your car upside down. Feck that. There's always cobwebs. They need blowing away, definitely. Jackie, you need blew away. Right, we'll have to try and find out what you mean by that, because there's a few different meanings of that phrase, especially in Northern Ireland. Paranoid about me tit fat, you have? Bang out of order, Mandy. Bang out of order. I normally just stick it on, that's it. It's there, know what I mean? I'm not looking at angles, jaunty or otherwise. Your cobwebs need blowing away. Do you do? Yours, unfortunately, are in the attic. You went driving earlier, Donald. The arse of the car was lifting a few times. That was interesting. I bet it was. As I say, I was parked up by the beach in Southport, and that was bad enough. Just being completely still, the whole thing was rocking. I know it normally is rocking there for different reasons, but you know. Oh, and there was a group of women who must have been obviously out of towners having a wander around and looking, and one of them run quickly past my car. I thought, where's she going? And I could see in the rearview mirror, she ran up to the back of a sand dune and started squatting. I thought, oh my word. Does she not know that behind those sand dunes there's a trailer park full of people in vans and caravans and what have you? Obviously didn't care at all. And you need to go. So there was action at the dogging car park today. You check for damages tomorrow. Everyone needs to check for damages tomorrow. But it's dry, man. Sod that. Just holding on to the window. It was about to pull me out. Jackie, you're off to check local news. Is that to see if you're on there? There's always a chance, isn't there? Am I on that fucking news again? Is there a big arse you've got? Oh, you mean the car? Yes. A large rear end. A wide load sign is needed. Big yellow taxi. Live at the Newport Folk Festival. All is okay. Good. You too as well. Everyone. Fingers crossed for everyone that we get through the night unscathed. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? It can be dodgy, can't it? This kind of weather for places where it's not intended. I mean, most of the houses will be alright. Might get the occasional roofing tile come off a slate or something, but hopefully we should be alright. Most of the trees that we have next to houses and whatever are very, very old. They should be alright, but you never know. Watch out for branches falling off them while you're driving. Watch out for wheelie bins getting blown across the road. I almost hit a cat earlier. But, you know, I had the reactions of, well, a cat. So I saved one of its 9 lives. Obviously checked in the mirror before I hit the brakes though. If there was something behind me, that cat would have been like jam across the street. And he likes big butts, and she cannot lie. Yep. But a Sir Mix-a-Lot. As does Donald, don't we all? Only a 36-inch waist. The waist of kings, I would say. 36 here as well. Holy moly, it's fun. Flooding electric out, trees down the usual. Isn't that just a normal 12th? Glorious 12th over there. Yeah, isn't there a saying, something about a big hammer for a big nail? There is. There's also that saying, Louise, isn't there? It's only small, but there's 16 stone behind it. You see, Galway has severe weather for gusts up to 130 miles an hour. Jesus, man. Even if they're only gusts, so the overall isn't that bad, one of those hitting you will do some damage. Tomash, how you doing, bud? Hatches have indeed been battened down. Window has been shut. I seen someone took pictures earlier on Twitter from the oblong, and I think it was out, was it New Brightonish? It looked very, very, very choppy in the bay, Liverpool Bay there. No power outages around you, Ali. Good, good, good. Keep it that way. It's been a wee bit breezy. We beat those Suffolk oddballs for you. Ed Sheeran, your boys took one hell of a beating. On the 12th you have burnt out buses too. I have seen that. I think many of us who've had to get buses in the past will feel a slight amount of sympathy for that. When you see a bus on fire rolling down the road, yeah, I've been that way myself at times. The 44 to Formby hasn't turned up, you fuckers. ...130 kilometres per hour. kph at 80 miles an hour, yeah. Even that's still pretty bad though. Watching Flight Radar, what the I can't speak English. Flight Radar 24, things flying into Dublin are not landing and are diverting to Manchester instead. You would be fuming. You get the chance to go to Dublin and end up in Manchester. Which nothing wrong with Manchester, but what an absolute pain in the arse to get from there to Dublin at a later date. It's not even like if you can't get into Dublin, land in Cork or land in Belfast and you know go by road. You still got to make your way from Manchester to Dublin at some point. Absolute ball ache. It's a bit blowy out, it is. More turf on the fire. That does sound like an 8 mile radius later album, that one. Belfast and Dublin are both being diverted. So Manchester and Liverpool will be chocolate at the moment. Been a couple of go-rounds at Manchester as well. Jeez. Where next? Scotland's going to be just as bad, isn't it? Jinxie likes it blowy. Yeah, we've heard that about you. The fire's going. Keep it going. You need to keep it going. Got as much secured as you can. Good, good, good. Keep it that way. Watch out for things falling onto the house. Onto the conservatory. Onto the west wing. Very, very careful. Fuming. If you're on a plane in this weather, you'd be crying. Some people love it. I mean, in a weird way. Some people do. They get off and go, right, well, it was scary, but it was one of the best roller coaster rides I've ever been on. Most roller coaster rides don't require air crash investigation afterwards, do they? Cable ties, very handy for strapping things down. Yeah, see, thinking outside the box. Strongest wind you ever experienced was 210k. About 130 miles an hour. That was mad interesting. That sounds horrific. I watched a really good thing, Richard Hammond's Wild Weather on the BBC. I think it's available on the iPlayer. Where he goes into talking about stuff like this. Those really strong winds. It's not just, again, it's not gusts. If this is constantly windy to that kind of level, there's no getting out of it. You can't get out the way of it. You can't make a run. You can't hide somewhere. It's absolute bedlam. The only interesting thing you found today is yesterday's page of the Daily Mirror racing page. Did you win? Jackie loves a good cable tie. You can tell by the glint in her eye. Yeah, whereabout was that? 130 mile an hour winds. Cray. Geneva to Dublin flight appears to be going back to Geneva. I've just had enough. Yeah, sod this. We can't turn up there. Not a chance. Let's go home. Toblerone all round. Just blew into your front garden earlier. Alright, so it wasn't you picking out your horses. Can you imagine that? Smoking rollies with your bookies pen. Good weekend. It was a weekend. That's about it, really. Mater and Pater are doing well. Jess, I had to pick her up yesterday, Friday night, Saturday morning. Drop her off at her mate's house, which was nice. Wasn't too late, so I was quite happy with that. Yeah, I think she's all right as well. I've got a busy week ahead of me next week. You don't gamble. Gamble every time you go out the house in Northern Ireland, don't you? 1:30 was at home. Jeez. Sex, drugs and rock and roll is enough for you. That's enough for anybody. No Argos pen. We need more. In fact, Argos pens were okay, but index pens were better. Because they were blue rather than red. And they weren't chunky, they were thinner. For some reason, they were more solid. If you fancy a trampoline, just wait for a storm. Everyone wakes up after a storm with a new trampoline in the back. Steve, your sister and a hubby have just left Rhodes on Ryanair. Jesus. Oh, Jinxie.
It's going up. It's there.
It is indeed there. Did I watch the Smiths concert on BBC 4? I did. Watched it, recorded it, watched it again. And also Depeche Mode afterwards. Although I remember watching that live, Depeche Mode. at the Six Music thing in Glasgow. That was superb. I haven't got round to watching Susie and the Banshees. That was on that night, but I need to. I will do. Watch this space. They're brilliant, the Smiths, man. Had a few of those in the past. Jenksy likes a bounce in the back garden, so she does. Ryan Airways, as your mum is wont to say. Must have a good garden full of them now. 24, near your age. Have you been clocked by any chance? Landing at Stansted, so they'll be fine. Yep. You're alright flying into places like that. It's not going to be the same, is it? That sound you can hear in the background as well was a crack of thunder and lightning as soon as Jackie said she was 24-ish. Ryanair pilots were bossing it this morning. I suppose with Ryanair you wouldn't know if it was a bad landing or not, would you? Because they always double bubble it in on the way. Praying that your fence stays up. Gingers crossed. Gingers crossed. If not, keep an eye out. You might see some of our fence panels heading that way. Watched a bit of Airliners live. You're not that fussed on Sam, mind you. I'm not that overly fussed with a lot of these people, but it's nice to watch. There should be a red button, shouldn't there? To play some tunes in the background. Whale music or something. Got a half cousin who's a captain for Ryanair. Can he buttery silky smooth them down? Half cousin, are they short? Right.
Very poor. Very poor indeed.
Very poor indeed, very poor. You've been told by your tailor it's your neck size. Brass. Has he said you got a brass neck on you as well as here? Wedges, people, wedges. Won't somebody think of the wedges? Steve, you'll have to let us know now. Is there a conflict of interests? Have you got a major shareholding in Wedges or us? Is this what it is? What's the difference between a half cousin and a second cousin? Potato, tomato. Ali, it's great to be back in the old routine. I bet it is. Or as Tom Whatsface has, inserts. Inserts. Man, he hasn't worn wedges for years. No kitten heels, no wedges. There are standards here. Any shawls though? There's nothing, it's the same. It's weird, isn't it, the way we have that? But it still means the same. And yeah, this is the easiest language on earth to learn, apparently. Routine is very important, it is. As is a break from the routine as well. If you have a routine most of the time and then have a little bit of a break, it keeps you going. Bob O'Donnell's is... You look well in wedges. Prop forward in wedges. Jackie, wedges aren't your thing, you don't suit them. Are you looking for more of a 6-inch skyscraper heel? Is that your thing, is it? Trying to look normal sized. Oh, you mean offcuts? What you say? Mrs. Tom is on the treadmill. She's only done 8,500 steps today. Only. Domingos Duarte has been in the garden for the first time in a few weeks. And with the wind distracting him, he's knackered. Who'd have thunk it? That's all you need. a breezy day and get out. The world would not function without routine. I am routinely told that. I've done 2,203 steps today. I am going to up that. Up it to try and up it to 3,000. See where I get to. Fair play, Mrs. Tom. Yeah, fair play, Mrs. Tom. Smash that treadmill. You love Iron Fist 6-inch heels. Mucho kinky. Mucho kinky. Do the passengers get a vote? That is a very, very good question. That. We can't land in Dublin. Should we go back home and fly another 2.5 hours back to Geneva? Or should we land somewhere else? Show of hands. That would be brilliant. Jinxie, you've done 9,667. Oh, get up, come on. Smash the 10,000. It does sound rather naughty, that, doesn't it, Steve? A 6-inch Iron Fist. I said no more rain. I didn't mean replace it with a bleeding typhoon, says Jeff. Absolutely. Here we go. This is our Jinxie's style. In lipstick red. They're nice, them. I like them. Have you noticed that? Dark, 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 light. Light, 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 dark. That's a polarizing ND filter. Yeah, they are nice then. Yep, I would as well rather have rain than this wind. Rain's just rain, innit? Wind, things tend to happen. Louise, you need Jeff to have a word with Botrix on your behalf. You do, definitely. The rotten sods. Where are we? I'm clicking on things. No, I reckon you'll level up today. I reckon. I really genuinely think you will. Watch this space. Yeah, your feet hurt just looking at them. Mine do as well, to be honest. They are nice though. They are pretty. Ali'd fall over in them, which is not good if you're going for that last minute shot. If you're doing a bonus shot for someone. Proper ankle breakers. They are beautiful shoes though, I must admit. They are nice. But it does make me think, ouch. Proper ankle breakers, yeah. Never broken my ankle. I've gone over on them. The pick. Very pretty, but that scares the life out of me, that. Scares the feckin' life out of me. Louise, you spent too long in memory foam soles to go back to heels. Yes, I'm not surprised. After a while, that's it, isn't it? Not doing it anymore. I'm not going to the top of Everest again. Sod that. Ali, you don't own any high heels. Some people don't, do they? Just not into it. You used to wear heels like that, did you, man? Was that when you're on stage? When you were rock chicken? Steve, you got to looking at the sketches. It happens to all of us at some point. I've got a pair. Told you, didn't I? I found myself one day sat in the car wearing a pair of Skechers, a gilet and a baseball cap, and I felt sick to my stomach. I felt like a class traitor. You'd have to extend the crutches for the extra height. You would, wouldn't you? But, you know, you could get away with it. It elongates the calf and the crutches. They do look like a weapon. You could do some damage with them. You own about 20 pairs of Iron Fist shoes, but you haven't worn them in a while. Get them on, man. Sashay about the house. No killer heels on a hit. Yes, you can't guarantee a good strong shot, can you? You've got to be able to keep it safe, keep it steady. You can do a lot of damage with those things. That's what worries me about you, Jinxie. 20 pairs, 20 of them. Is that because each time you get rid of someone, when you ice them, you can throw a pair away? I've got plenty in there to keep me going until next time. Not on stage, far enough to fall without adding the height and doubling the jeopardy. Good point. Good point. Did you run around the stage, or were you just keeping in one place, emoting? Did you have a wind machine making your hair blow up in the background? Smoke machine? Dry ice? I don't know. My mates that were in bands were in either 1960s Merseybeat bands or 1980s and 90s indie bands. And they were all male. You've got 50 pairs of shoes down from 128. What? Ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, alright, I've got about 26 pairs of trainees myself, like, but it's not my fault. A big boy done it and ran away. Yep. The Imelda Marcos of Northern Ireland. I need more fucking shoes. Oh man, you didn't need FX, no. You just rocked out, did you? Rocked out. What you see is what you get. Rockstar-esque. There's a knife called a stiletto. You wonder why? Yes. Exactly. Both your sisters have more. This like a family thing, a tradition. Buy as many shoes as you possibly can. Kirsty, how you doing? You alright? One's got about 150, the other has got closer to 200 pairs. What? They name the heels after the knife. They are nice, aren't they? Proper high heels look nice, I must admit. Those ones look nice. But I'm glad it's the women that have to wear them. Obviously, imagine someone 6'4" in 6-inch heels. Come on. I'd have been shit if I was born a little bit earlier. Growing up during the 70s where everyone's wearing platform shoes. Kirsty, yes, is it blowy round your way, and how many pairs of shoes do you have? We will also include boots for that one as well. And who's next behind the bar? It went Piggly Ding earlier. Who's doing a shift? How long till Venezia? That's coming up, isn't it? End of October, isn't it? October, November. Must be soon. 3 pairs, and it's bloody windy here. Have I seen the size of the heels? Chinese bit massive. Yes. The house, sorry, the pub that we lived on, the road that we lived on, Duke Street in Southport. Further on down the road, there was a woman's outfitters, which loads of people used to go around the back and up the stairs, and those that did were buying men's-sized women's clothing, including size 12 and 13 high heels, with a good 6 or 7 inch heel on them, and in the size that rugby players could wear. It's ridiculous. The people that owned it used to come in the pub, and the people that used to go in there and buy the stuff said they were all fantastic people. But you don't want to. Back then it was a thing, wasn't it? Back in the early 90s. Don't want to embarrass them at all. Nowadays, if you want to buy them, just go into a shop. No one's asked. Just have a look. Just look. No. Right, Thomas, you did say first, but I'm putting Louise on because I always miss her out. So you're going to have to wait till next time, I'm afraid. Plus the hand went up. Daesh will be out next. Diddly do. And Jackie as well, yeah. Two boots and one set of trainees. Movie Kinky Boots is brilliant, it is superb. Jackie said first, I didn't see that, but yeah. In that case, Jackie, you're next, and then Thomas, but Louise is going on because I keep missing her out, and I hate that. I feel really guilty. What pairs did I get? I got 6-inch crystal heel. Really elongates me calf. I look great. I'd have to get Adidas, wouldn't I, obviously? Adidas heels. Am I invisible? Who said that? Louise, you went to Funny Girls and felt decidedly dowdy. There was a bar in Southport called the Amsterdam Bar, which was, what they used to call it, gay friendly. Or back then it was just gay friendly, but everyone used to go in there, all persuasions. And the drag act that they had was about 6'5", just in stocking feet. When he was wearing high heels, he was huge and he had big shoulders on him. If there's any fights in there, he'd be the first one in. You imagine 2 lads trying to get really narky with each other, and some almost 7 foot Amazonian fella dressed as a woman, big deep voice, "Oi, the fucking hell do you think you're doing?" Booted out, followed by back with a high voice and makeup looking fantastic, not an eyelash out of place. Quite interesting to watch occasionally. Are we including slippers? Yes, we'll include slippers as well. Hyper, you pretty and I like you. We need a bat signal for bar duties. We do. The hand had to be done because I keep missing Louise out. Which is bang out of order. Bang out of order. Definitely Mandy, which is Oasis's first album, which was binned off by the record company. 7 pairs of slippers. What? Men don't see you unless you're in heels. Well, they should see it all the time, seeing so you've got 900 pairs of the bloody things. Did you get to see Lily Savage? I didn't. Don't know if anyone else did. Lily, of course, and Paul O'Grady were London-based from a very, very early age, weren't they? Or an early stage, rather. Pity. Incredibly funny. Razor-sharp wit as well, Paul. That makes 4 then. Jack, you don't own slippers? What? How? How is that possible? Doesn't everyone own slippers? I've got 4 pairs myself. Jeffa cakes. Will there be a lock-in at the bar tonight? There always is. We're alright for after hours, I know the manager. 7 pairs of slippers. I've got 4 pairs. I've got a pair in the back of the car. From 5'3" to 6 foot, then all of a sudden you will be noticed. Christmas gifts. Yeah, I told you. This is what happens. Girls always end up getting slippers, bath bombs, bath salts. Just the usual traditional stuff, isn't it? No one can think of what to get you. I'll buy them slippers. Fair enough. Lads, socks and undies. Shall I get you socks this year? Do not get me socks this year. Why not? Because I spend about 20 quid a pair for mine. That's why. Always get the most expensive socks you can afford. Treat yourself. Everything else you can just about get away with, but good socks, always needed. You don't get anything like that? Ah. We'll have to bombard you with slippers and bath bombs and stuff. Two lattes. Turlik. Anybody buys you slippers, they'll be eating them. Someone brought you slippers for Christmas, you disown them. Right, in that case, Mandy and Jackie, if that is the case, I am buying both of your slippers. Just to annoy the pair of you. And really shite ones as well. 1970s ones with the kitten heel and the fluff on the front. Pink fluff. Mule slippers. That's what you get in the pair of you. And I'm going to write on them in a Sharpie. Fuck you, love Kippers and Horace. There you go. A ginger beer. Very nice. Went out with a girl who was 6'5". She was very self-conscious about it. She hated it. Brilliant from a line in though, isn't she? I'll have to pick her up from corners. Both of you are getting nothing. Inconsiderate sods. It is a bit high for a girl. It is. And I thought my ex-wife was tall, being 6 foot. Nah, 6'5", man. Already bought Helen's slippers for Christmas. Gotta be done, man. You'd write on the sole of the slippers with a biro, not Sharpie. Traditional, you do. Is there anything that feels better on earth than a biro on the bottom of a pair of slippers? That's what heaven feels like. Constantly writing on the bottom of a pair of slippers with a biro. Convince me otherwise. Would I like salt and pepper on my slippers? Gotta have salt and pepper on everything, lah. It's Scouse law, isn't it? Oh, Alf. Get Smart theme song. Say what? She'd have to shop in a long, tall Sally there at that height. It's not good. It's not good being tall. Who am I kidding? It's absolutely brilliant. But it is a pain in the arse as well. Clothing can be difficult, finding things that fit. Especially if you're a weird shape. Like I mentioned before, most jeans nowadays is a 36 waist and a 34 leg. Whereas when you're a 34 waist and a 36 leg, they're more difficult to find. When I say difficult, impossible to find. Oh, and I dropped a bit of weight as well, by the way. I was looking at a 96.7 City FM and I was 95 point something. 15 stone I was. Whatever that is. Actual 15 stone. If I go below that, it'll be the first time since hospital. And the hospital was the first time for about 8 years before then. So if I can get down below 15, I might be alright. I might be okay. Was her hair black and her eyes blue? That's a very, very Irish thing, that, isn't it? Girls with black hair and blue eyes. Don't tend to get them anywhere else. Very organised, romantic. Love to see it, man. Yep. Helen will love her slippers, of course. Most people do. The only people that don't are freaks like you two. Just begging for trouble here, aren't I? She had really long legs. To get any decent clothes was a pain in the arse. Absolutely. City to Merseyside. I think I've gone below Merseyside. 15 stone's not that bad for me height. No, it isn't. 12 stone 10, which is what I was when I left hospital, was abysmal. They were saying, I think on the NHS, what do they call it? Body mass indexy flow thing. 12.5 to 13 stone is ideal for 6'4". Bollocks it is. End up looking like that. It's not good for you. You can't be that thin at that height. 14.5 to 15 stone is about right. It's like up to 16 stone and you can't really notice the difference apart from a bit more pudgy around the face. That's about it. City was celebrating its 50th anniversary this week. 50th. Is it still a thing? I thought it was getting binned off, wasn't it? Red hair and blue eyes. Again, very Celtic. Steve, your right leg is 15 stone. Oh, man. My legs are so thin at the moment. I tried a little bit of running earlier while I was on the treadmill. Just a little gentle jog. I think if I practice and think about what I'm doing, I might be able to start doing a little bit. Just like a minute at a time. Little jog and see how I get. How we're going from there, I might be alright. Kirsty, just going to weigh yourself. Kirsty's back. Back again. She was from Finland. Some very, very tall people in Scandinavia. And the Netherlands, obviously. Aren't the Dutch the biggest, on average, in the world? Bizarre. Some big, big people when we were there, but seems to have absolutely gone through the roof, literally. City has been binned. Does that mean I can start using the 96.7 FM stereo? Can I use that now? Am I allowed to? Or was that gone with them? City FM. Buy your bike. Buy your bike. Speaking of weight, where would you go to weigh a pie? A butcher's? No. Higher. Think higher. Mandy knows. She knows, you know. You'd go over a rainbow. Somewhere. Over a rainbow. Weigh a pie.
Very poor. Very poor indeed.
Very poor indeed. You're not even having a dad joke for that because kids wouldn't even know what you meant. What? It's from the song Somewhere Over Rainbow. What? It's off an old Disney film. What? We need them. We need jokes like that. What the I'm sure that's getting worse out there now. Let me check it. It is. It's getting worse. Bloody hell. It's now 60 kilometers per hour. It is increasing in strength. C'est très fort. Who done the best version of Over the Rainbow? You're going to see that dead woman, aren't you? Can't remember her name now. Eva Cassidy, yeah. I remember someone in our pub getting the CD of that and passing it round to everyone, saying it's the greatest song in history with the greatest voice in history, and then they put it on and I just looked at them and what the fucking hell is wrong with you? It's brilliant. No, it's alright. Where would you weigh a whale? Your scale said one at a time when he got on. Yes, the talking scales. No coach parties. Eva or Izzy from Hawaii. Go on, where do you weigh whales? I know it. I know it. Come on. Israel K something. What? You like the Hawaiian one with the ukulele? Am I missing out on something here? Are you ganging up on me with all kinds of stuff that I don't know about? You were 70 mile an hour at dinner time in Northern Ireland. It's heavy that, like, isn't it? Yeah, go on, Mandy. You answer. Can't have you kawaii-ing. Come on. What's the answer, Mandy? Where do you whale? Where do you weigh whales? At a railway station.
Very poor. Very poor indeed.
Very poor indeed. Yes, you do. Can't think of Izzy's surname. Correct. You having that one, Dave? Correct. So come on, how do you know these things, Mandy? How do you know all these dad jokes? How do you know them? Have you got them written down? Have you got a great memory for dad jokes? Is this what it is? Do you secretly like them? Because I know my daughter used to say she hated them, and every time she really laughed, it was sorry, just allergies. Yeah, allergies. You tend to get allergies quite a lot, don't you, Jess? You don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that you don't know these jokes. How can you not know these jokes, man? These are proper old school jokes. Proper old school. Do you hang around loads of dads, Mandy? Is that what it is? Overhear them. Do you play poker with them? Do you? Pool. Worked in pubs for years. Where do you think you heard them? Of course, of course. You do have a tendency, don't you, to hear all these things over and over and over again. Have you seen a Galway girl with black hair and blue eyes? Do they exist? Who was the Elvis impersonator who was crying over you? That would be Roy Orbison, wouldn't it? Your neighbour is one. On the telly, oh, you know about Only Fools and Horses? I'll be crying. Yes. Tony thingy. What was his name? It's pissing me off that now. I should know what it is. Raquel and Tony. What's his bloody name in that? Tony someone. It was Phil Pope who played him anyway. Brilliantly played him. You've got pronunciationism, Dewick. Israel Kamakawiole. Easy for you to say, Louise. Easy for you to say. You do live in County Galway, you do? That's the ukulele fella. Yes, another Jonathan Ross. He played that brilliantly as well, I think. Phil Pope. Easy for you to copy and paste, but you got in there and did it. Otherwise, people would have been up all night not knowing who it was. And yet, you copied and pasted and I had to try and pronounce it. Well done, you. Thank you very much. Bang out of order. Bang out of order. Kamakawiole. Well, no. Balls to it. Balls to it. Are they from New Zealandy place? Somewhere around there. Pacific Islands. PNG. Samoa. Anywhere like that? Can you say you didn't care? You always do. Heartless, that's what you are. Heartless. Absolutely heartless. It is Sunday though, isn't it? Let's see if this works. Some Jeffrey business. Storm Ashley making waves off the Sefton coast. He is looking ripped there, man. Look at him. When playing spotting to see some gnarly landings. Again, ripped. Looks like he was born in a gym, doesn't he? In Soviet Russia, the kite flies you. What? What is he going on about? Something wrong with Jeff. It's the second biggest county in Ireland. I didn't realise it. It looks, to be honest, when you see it on the on a map, it does look big, but we didn't get taught much about Ireland. Weird that. Mandy, you didn't know his name. There's a surprise. But I bet you could pick him out of a lineup, couldn't you? Years of practicing, Jinxie. Years of practicing. Kirsty, you're saving one. Your mum's mate will come and stay in the room till she gets it. Oh, man. waiting on her to go to sleep. Wise. Bad Deadpool. Stand firm, no sharing, no stakes. Yeah, set joust on it. Don't fucking hell. Attack. Put joust in attack mode. Go on, go on. Go and glow my bastard face off. Yeah, been sharing whether or not you're sharing your last one. Neither your last joint nor your last Rolo should be shared. Keep that for yourself. Save your joint, my darling. Save your joint. Yeah, tell her to risk the Van Gauntlet. Go and do a pickup. Ask her to pick joust up. There you go, yeah. That'll sort things out. Yep, throw the charger at her. Joust will be all over like a powerful moss. Mrs. Tom didn't know the last Rolo rule nearly resulted in divorce. A powerful lesson to learn, but needs to be learned. Absolutely. If there's 12 in a pack, you can have 11 of them. Just leave the last one for me. That's all that matters. Fact. Fact. You'd give yourself your last Rolo. Who deserves it more than you, Ali? Go on, who deserves it more? I am still on the tea. I'm still sneezing. That's what I'm worried about. If I start having chilly beer, that dirty beer, even though it's non-alcoholic, I think I'll be sneezing more. And I've got some Asahi as well. I bought it specifically. Or pacifically, depending on where you come from. That's a shocker. Are we on about the Rolo or Joust charger chewing? That could be a shocker as well. Joust doesn't like anyone but you picking him up. Exactly. Play to his strengths. When she picks him up, off you go. Jinxie, you are a true bitch. You eat the last Rolo. Deliberately. Make sure it's the last one. Got to be generous with yourself. Definitely. Who else is going to treat you the way you will do? Years of advertising that bypassed her. Is it just advertising? I thought this was encoded in our DNA. Knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Your sister tried to pick Joust up the other day. It did not end well. Lessons learned. Life lessons learned. Mandy, you're not keen on Rolos, you can have them. What's wrong with you, man? What do you prefer to Rolos? How about Munchies? Domingo isn't one for being handled or herded. Yep. I'm not sure too many cats would like that. Don't mind jumping on you and having a snug, do they, when it's on their terms. But when you just want to pick them up, feck that. Guess you're not keen on them either. Ali, how are you working Wednesday morning? Most cats, yeah, most cats. Crunchies, can't whack a crunchie. Especially if you leave the bitten crunchy in your mouth and have a swig of tea and everything just goes working Monday to Friday, putting a proper shift in. Same as Wee Charlie. That's Charlie the girl, isn't it? Wee Charlie. Munchies Ace. What were the mint versions? Oh, what were they called? I like Munchies. What was the mint ones called? That's going to piss me off, that now. Moments. Were they moments? Were they magic moments? Ba ba ba. Magic. Ba 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 ba. Good win for Everton yesterday. It was a great win. As I said to Steve earlier, sent me a text halfway through, actually, Steve, saying, I told you to have faith. I went, no, I'm going to put money on Everton to get beat because that's what happens to us normally. 100 to 1, Ipswich were with about 10 minutes to go. I was very tempted to put money on it. But I never, and we won. You'll love the mint ones. So now we have found common ground amongst us. Ali, you would love, you eat the whole pack of munchies. They are great. Crunchies are only for Fridays though. Thank Crunchy it's Friday. Do you ever have the After Eight sweet that was similar to munchies? I've got goo. I've got goo in the fridge, thankfully, and yoghurt. But I've got nothing with any heft. Why have I got nothing with any heft? There used to be After Eight munchies, didn't there? Actual After Eight munchies. A 36 pack of After Eight munchies. Oh, Mintola. You remember them? Mintola. This is turning very Peter Kay, this, isn't it? Mintola. Who remembers Mintola? What was that all about? Thank you, Louise, for a fantastic bit of service behind the bar. Jinx, I was next. I do apologise. Jackie, I do apologise. Don't hit me with your stiletto heel. Not keen on After Eights. I think they've got to be. There's a right time and a right place for After Eights. Not everyone likes them. I'll never forget the smell of the sweat from under your armpits. Magic. Ba 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 ba. Your dad's alternate lyrics. Dads are brilliant at doing stuff like that. I am world famous for making lyrics up to other people's songs. After Eight it was. It was Lilibet's dad that designed the clock. Or granddad. It was, wasn't it? That's a bit of a claim to fame, that one, isn't it? Jesus. Quality, that. Bad experience. Someone put a sleeve back in the box with nothing in it. Very few things on earth worse than that. They were called After Eights, just like regular After Eights, but shaped like munchies. I can't remember that one. Mintola, there you go, yeah. Which sounds too much like a dyslexic camera, doesn't it? But yeah, that's the one, Mintola. We like our old chocolate here, don't we? Kirsty, you'd rather have orange flavoured chocolate, a bit of Terry's. Orange flavoured chocolate is nice, has to be said. Before you forget again, you didn't get up to 70 earlier. You only said that because I said 60. Oh, all right. Is this what it is? Top trumps, is it? You don't know Mintola? They were nice. Chocolate orange flavour is nice. Chocolate orange hot chocolate is nice as well. I like that. Not keen on chili chocolate. I've had a couple of bits that were nice. There was remember a chili Yorkie? I would say a few years ago. It's probably about 20 years ago. Which was heavy like as well. You hate people who put the empty After Eight wrapper back. Bang out of odour. You haven't tried chili chocolate? It is nice. Some of it's nice, rather. Some of it is just a bit ham-fisted. It's just the chocolate's either too thick and the chili's too much. But it would be sound. Louise, you don't like dark chocolate unless it's mint or strawberry flavoured? I do like a bit of dark chocolate, and it is good for you, isn't it? Actually good, healthy for you. Not too much of it, but it is good for you. You don't do chocolate orange, but have you tried the chocolate orange with popping candy in it? That does look strange. A strange combination. Not tried that yet. Might give that a go. The new chocolate orange hot chocolate bomb. Put it in, pour water over it, or pour something over it, and then it explodes into flavourage. Give it a go. Lidl do a beautiful 70% dark chocolate with raspberry. Lush. Worth a try. I like raspberry. Do like a bit of raspberry. I should have bought raspberries, shouldn't I? To be fair, I should have bought raspberries and I didn't. I bought raspberry yoghurt, protein yoghurt. But no raspberries. And I've still got walnuts. What else do I need? I need something this week. Raspberry chocolate, yum. That means we're going to all have to do a little trip, aren't we, to check this out? How come passion fruit is so weird to eat? I don't know. I can't remember the last time I ate one. You mean like raw, straight from source, raw, rather than cut up into something? Did I work out what I forgot in the shop the other day? I didn't, so it mustn't have been important. Genuinely, it must have just been the idea of having an idea must have been on my mind rather than having an idea on my mind, if that makes sense. But no, I just went in, bought what I needed to buy and come home. And I think, have I been back since? I did get more Lemsip, but I had quite a few left, so it wasn't that. Got loads of tea, loads of milk. I've got goo. Wasn't goo, I know that. But I couldn't work out what it was. You bought walnuts Thursday, first in a while. They are very, very good for you. Not too many at once, but they're really good for you. Better go and have a bowl of cereal. I like a bowl of cereal at night. I think students have got it right. Don't have cereal in the morning and curry at night. Have curry in the morning and cereal at night. Makes far more sense. There's raspberry flavoured Jaffa cakes. We had them in our Tesco. I haven't tried it yet though. I will have to try them. On account of the fact that I do like Jaffa cakes and raspberry. I have had the cola bottle flavour ones. That was weird. They tasted like cola bottles. Obviously. So strange. Like how Terry's have brought out new flavours. You've heard people call it a chocolate orange lime. I haven't seen any of them. I think they're hidden away in one of the aisles that I don't go down. I'll have to check them out. What else have they got? Blood orange. Terry's chocolate blood. That's what, you know what, that's what Jeff would do, wouldn't it? A Terry's blood orange. Terry's chocolate blood orange. Yeah. Man, you're weird with fruit and chocolate flavour combos. Love cherries, hate cherry flavoured. I get that completely. Absolutely get that completely. I've mentioned before I don't like strawberry flavours. I like strawberries, but I don't like strawberry flavoured anything really. So I get that completely. But then I like cherry flavoured yoghurt. I used to love that. But that's not chocolate. There you go. You've had them, but for some reason, Jaffa cakes have to be orange. They have to be. Got to be. Absolutely. And a passion fruit Jaffa cake. Never tried that. You've got a blue and white bobble hat, chocolate orange sized for the Christmas chocolate orange. Some talented Mandy-esque knitter does them in football colours. Ooh. That might be Mandy doing a bit on the side. M&S do lime Jaffa cakes. They would do, wouldn't they? I think that'd be worth to try that though, definitely. If they're like you, they probably tried to make a sock but couldn't do the heel. Next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. Coca-Cola or cola flavoured Jaffa cakes. It was weird because I don't mind cola flavoured cola bottles and I don't mind Jaffa cakes, but the combination together was just a bit too much. A bit too much. It was weird. There's a sea salt and caramel chocolate for sale in the local shop. Way too salty. But who thinks of that? Here's this lovely sweet everyone loves. Here's how to make it better. Throw salt in it. Why? Like that with banana. I bet you everyone's got the similar kind of thing with a different flavour. Defo. Louise is with you on that one. Solidarity, sister. In fact, you know, where is he? Solidarność. Sew it up, stick a pom-pom on it. Voila, hats for chocolate oranges. Tomash, abandoning, no worries, going to bed. Sweet dreams, lid. TTFN, have a good week. Love to Mrs. Tom and Domingos Duarte as well. Seems to be salted caramel everywhere at yours too. It is everywhere, isn't it? In places it shouldn't be. Salted stuff is everywhere and it shouldn't be. Although there is salt in absolutely everything, which is not good for you. It helps towards blood pressure, as in giving you it. Salted caramel can be a bit hit or miss. There should no need for salt and caramel. Yeah, skipping off before this shift because I pissed it about. I cocked it up, obviously. That's on me, this one. Many apologies for the inconvenience. Stuff is packed with salt now, Donald. It is. And it was one of the reasons why I ended up having my stroke was because of high blood pressure, which was caused by too much alcohol, too much salt in my diet, and I didn't realise how much salt was in there until I started looking at what I was eating and then checking out the packs and what have you. There is so much salt hidden in food these days, it's stupid. Got to be really careful with it. Good night, Mrs. Tom and Domingo. Salt in chocolate was probably an accident. Somebody mixed up salt and sugar and conned people into buying it. Yep. But we do have salt in anything that's sweet will have salt in it to balance it out. I had a mate who used to put a pinch of salt in his coffee, black coffee, and swore by it. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you put sugar in it? To sweeten it? Well, this makes it more savoury. Do you not make cakes and have salt in the cake when you're making it? Well, yeah. That's why. To be fair, he also used to have black pepper on strawberries, and that does work. Freshly cracked black pepper on strawberries is amazing. Totally amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Your granny used to put salt in the porridge in the morning. I guess that's a very Scottish thing to do as well, isn't it? And it makes sense. It's a savoury, it's not really sweet thing to have, porridge. It's more of a savoury thing to have. People just launch sugar in it and make it really unhealthy. A little tiny bit of salt. I have nothing in mine apart from sometimes blueberries, sometimes raspberries. I don't even like banana chopped into it. Don't like it. Don't like it. Not nice. Don't like it. some bags of flour have salt in them. They do. Everything's got salt in it. Salt and pepper as seasoning to balance out flavours and what have you, whether we like it or not. You give Jackie the bulk, so you have. I'll eat sugar in yours, of course, of course. Salty porridge is manky. That sounds like it should be graffiti somewhere, shouldn't it? On the side of a building somewhere, salty porridge is manky. Sultanas in yours. That's not a bad idea. They're sweet as well, aren't they? In their own little sweet way. I wonder. I might try that, you know. Good tip. Sometimes people put jam in it, they do, and it goes all pink. Sultanas. That's a second from Donald there. We'll have that one. Never added salt to cake. It's a preservative. Cakes don't last long enough to need preserving. Now, there you go. There you go. But in the stuff that you're making it, there will be salt in there. Just saying. Just saying. Can you be allergic to salt? I would think so. You can be allergic to anything, but there is salt naturally in the body, so it will be difficult to be allergic to salt. You can definitely be in trouble by having too much of the stuff because it is a poison as well. Sugar and butter sandwiches are an old thing in Ireland. I think they are as well, pretty much all over the UK, as a way of getting energy and stuff into you fairly cheaply. But people have carried on eating them after all the years. Salt is a preservative, but it also balances out flavours. Dad always had sultanas in his cereal. I'm after that experimenting, aren't I? Obviously. Ali used to have them as well. Butter and sugar butties. Kirsty will be going back to Google. Kirsty, you'll be going back to Google so often, you'll be getting Christmas cards off them. You'll be getting invited to the Christmas night out and all kinds of you. Should be sponsored by Google. Have a word with them. You are on every stream that I do. Give me money. Lots of money. Jeff, press send. Not you, obviously. Couldn't possibly be you. You got it from your dad as well. Oh, this must just be a thing. Previous generation all did very similar kind of stuff. We should be passing these forward. Definitely. I'm going to try that now. And then if it's good, I'm going to pass it forward to my daughter. There you go. You hate real butter without salt. Salted butter is a completely different flavour. Again, got to be careful though. True allergies to salt are rare, but some people may have adverse reactions to iodized salt or certain salt substitutes. Right, saltwater allergies can also occur when the immune system mistakes salt for an allergen. No bueno, man. No bueno. Fanta and Pringles, they were the ones I wanted to move. Ugh, I knew there was something last week. What an absolute bell sweat. Fanta, what? Sultanas have to be warmed up when sorting the porridge though. Right. So they can't just be thrown in afterwards. It's got to be part of the process, so they'll be plumped up and warm as well. Cook the sultanas with the porridge. Go ahead, lad. This sounds like it's everyone does it. Why don't I? I'm gonna have to start looking into this. A bit of ridgy-diggy, as you used to call it for Jess back in the day. I want some ridgy-diggy for your breakfasts. Dad, I'm 17, piss off. Where are we? It is Sunday after all.
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
Scientists claim breakthrough to bringing back Tasmanian tiger from extinction. Scientists claim to have made progress towards de-extinction and estimate their DNA sequence for the thylacine or Tasmanian tiger is 99.9% accurate. The Tasmanian tiger, a wolf-like marsupial that once stalked the forests of Tasmania, could be brought back from extinction after a team of US and Australian researchers claimed a series of scientific breakthroughs. Also known as the thylacine, the Labrador-sized beast was Australia's last marsupial apex predator. The last one died in a Hobart zoo in 1936, after the rest had been hunted to extinction in a bid to protect Tasmania's growing livestock industry. However, its recent demise makes it an ideal candidate for de-extinction, according to Colossal Biosciences, the Dallas-based company behind the effort. Colossal has previously announced plans to use the latest advances in gene editing and reproductive biology to bring back woolly mammoths and even the dodo from the dead. Just what Australia needs, more dangerous animals. Hoo-yah! He's right. He's absolutely 100% right, for a change. Jackie, you don't have Twitch. Don't click on the link then. I don't have fucking Twitch. Sound. Sometimes the sultanas can split open so you get a burst of flavour when munching. Ooh. Now you've got me thinking. Joey, how you doing, bud? Ali, you don't Twitch either. You can't afford to Twitch, can you, in your line of work? Otherwise you wouldn't be pinging headshots here, there and everywhere. Get your tongue roasted doing that as well. Be very careful how hot those sultanas are. They need to bring back common sense and manners from extinction. I think we're too late for that. Those are gone. Absolutely gone. Nobody seems to have them these days. Pain in the arse. I do not watch Jurassic Park. Don't bring back animals. There's a reason why they went. I mean, obviously there's a reason why they went, because we were going around with 12 bores, blowing the heads clean off the shoulders, but once they're gone, they're gone. Who was it who was talking about pandas? Let them go. It's their own fault. Don't be spending a fortune on saving them. They've got teeth to eat meat and they instead decide to eat bamboo. And then, doesn't matter how many lady pandas around, they're never interested in shagging. So if they're going to die out, they'll die out. Their own fault. Sorry, Horace. Don't be thinking about that. Kirsty, you keep forgetting your manners every so often. Not good enough, young lady, not good enough. Manners cost nothing. But they can be very, very well received. They can make a huge difference. Same as a smile. Unless they eat spiders, then you'll have one. All you need is a frog. A frog or a toad. You should keep spiders. At least one spider in the house. That'll eat all the flies. Got twitches too, but that's the Bell's palsy. Steve, you've woken up to go to bed. Ah, no worries, mate. Must be knackered, bud. No worries. Catch you later. Sleep well. You, Helen, the Norfolk correspondent, and Ruby Roo too. They don't eat all the flies. We used to always have at least one huge spider's web in the cellar of the pub that we had. And a toad or a frog. And they would eat the beer flies. Beer flies are horrible little things. But they'd always keep them down for us at least. And then when someone came in, get that down, that bloody huge cobweb. Get that down now. No, that stays where it is. Kirsty, have you learned any Italian yet? Just speak in English, but do that with your hand all the time. They'll understand you. I've learnt pizza. Chianti. It's a proper moody sounding language, isn't it? Italian. I mean, it's supposed to be a romance language. Everyone goes on about it sounding so romantic, but everyone sounds like they've got a proper fucking cob on when they speak Italian. I've never been any good at it either. Spanish I took to like a duck to water. You've learned a bit. Good stuff. Go back to learning it a bit more. You don't need too much. Just make an effort. I think anywhere you go in the world, if you make an effort, it's appreciated by the locals. So went to Cuba and I was having a full-on conversation in a square in Havana with 4 or 5 big mushers, like proper big lads. I was doing it in Spanish to the best of my abilities, and they were absolutely buzzing off the fact that at least I tried. You are very good. Thank you. I'm not very good, but at least I'll have a go. Don't you learn Italian too? Just talk louder. Works. Talk loud and do that. Hey. She knows she's going to have a camera on a piano. Say, what? Yeah, piano, and then forte, fortissimo, glissando, vibrato, And capo. Not capo, by the way, capo. When you want to play in a higher key on a guitar, capo because it means head in Italian. Because it's taking up the place of the headstock. Capo. Like the capo's the head of a mafia organisation. The capo de tutti capi. Stick to ciao. That seems to work for a lot of things. It does. Grazie. Grazie mille. There you go. Grazie. 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 Jinky, you are absolutely multilingual. You speak English and filth, obviously. Camera, room, piano, floor. Camera, yeah. Like chambre. Also, piano means soft, doesn't it? Quiet, soft. As long as you say it right, you'll be signed, of course. You're a quiet speaker, so you're going to have to talk louder. That is going to be an experience. You will. Doosh, bang. Capo, yeah, it's boss. It means head of the family. Capo de tutti capi, head of all heads. But yeah, when you play guitar and you want to play in a lower key but sing in a higher key, you use a capo. It's not a capo, it's a capo. And it comes from that Italian word, head. On a guitar, at the bottom, if you're right-handed, you've got the bridge. And at the top, you've got the head. And then that is a surrogate head coming down the frets, so it's capo. I, on the other hand, don't use a capo for 2 reasons. 1, I can't use my left hand, so I can't play guitar at the moment. And 2, if I need to play and sing, I'll just transpose it to the key that I want to sing in. It's not that fucking hard. It's easier to play C, F and G. It's fucking easy to play E, A and D as well. Bellends. Getting angry now, aren't I? You'd be saying, don't forget bullshit, yet you can speak that fluently. Speak it like a native, don't you? Jackie. Aim loud and aim proud. So I am. You'll never believe this, but she's quite a loud speaker, is our Jackie. She could whisper across 3 fields. No one's believing you. It's Capodastro, to give it its full title. Head of the Stars. Funnily enough, I can be quite a loud speaker as well. Someone who's had to spend a hell of amount of time over the last 20 years teaching people how to do things and training them, having to stand at the front of rooms of hundreds of people and be confident and be heard at the back of the room. I can enunciate things to the back of the room. And I do. I put my feet down, legs apart, chest out, like in Blackadder. To be or not to be. Abso-fucking-lutely. You should hear your dad on the phone, could literally hear him a mile away, he's that loud. That appears to be that generation of people. It's like, do you understand the whole point of a phone is so that you don't have to shout to the next village? Just talk quietly. They can hear you at the other end. And if you've got 2 people doing that, just fucking, you don't need phones, just shout to each other. No, I'm not. I am. I'm also quiet when need be. Plus, when I went to yours for a cup of tea, you never shut up, so I just thought I'd let you speak. Preacher. I am the preacher. The lay preacher. Jack Preacher. Piggly dung, piggly ding next. Right, well, Thomas was next, but he's not, so who fancies a bit? Who's working? Is he quiet in real life? I am complicated. I am quiet, I'm also loud. When needed. Sometimes it's not needed to shout. I know that'll come as a shock to you, Jackie. Sometimes it's not needed. Sometimes it's zen, it's chill, it's relax. Louise has been on. Unless you want to jump on again. He's a mouse in real life. Too big to be a mouse. Yes, Tom Ash was next. His name's not Tom Ash, by the way. Free bar for all. Tell with the consequences. Do you know what, yeah? Happy hour. All drinks half price. We'll have it. Go on. Yes, Mandy, I did fuck it up completely, but I did get there in the end and sort it out, but Thomas had to leave early. Tom. While we're deciding, hands up if anyone wants to go behind the bar, but while we're deciding, he would. I think he'd carry it off, Horace. Do you not think? Blue pinstripe. I think he'd carry it off. It's a free-for-all. Donald's going to have to be made up as well. We're going to have to do him his own little plaque for the corner of the screen. Ali, oh, go on then, you can. Yes. Here he is. The man, the myth, the legend. The bear, the myth, the legend. Not looking too shabby, is he, for 51? Little bit of threadbareness going on, but never an eye replaced, never a limb come off. He's older than me. Always been there. A constant companion. Sideways stripe. What? Mash style. What's that? Have I missed something? What have I missed? Oh, right. Yep. You don't notice it now that it's moved because it's in the top left-hand corner and you're so used to seeing it at the bottom. That can be changed around if you don't like it. But I just thought it seemed a little bit... Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Pinstripe. Yes, sideways. That was brilliant. Trapper John McIntyre. When he bought a pinstripe suit and he did it sideways rather than voidical. Brilliant. I reckon he looked good in that, to be honest with you. What flag do you want on your name? Who's for the fancy top shelf bottles? There's loads up there. There's Galliano and all kinds. All the weird shite. You've never seen... Jack, you've never seen MASH? What? What is wrong with you, woman? Actually, don't answer that. We haven't got all day. Only joking. Only joking there. It's great. I love a bit of MASH. It's good for chillage. It's okay if they just don't... Oh, you never seen Horace? He hasn't been there for weeks and weeks. He's been there for about 2 weeks, I think, maybe 3 at best. I put him there because there's a light behind him. I thought it might give him a Brian Cox halo. And it hasn't. There's a little bit sort of Brian Cox, isn't it? With he always has the sun behind him. Today we're going to probe a wormhole. What? You've seen MASH. Good. Glad to hear it. It's a fantastic show. Where's the ladder? You don't need a ladder. You can borrow one of Jackie's 400 pairs of 27-inch heels. Easy. You miss the haiku when you type as well. Poor Horace. You meant when he comes up doing his bayah. Ah. Ladders in your tights. What gobshite stole the champagne? Who has got those kind of tastes? Has anyone got champagne tastes in this place? I can't stand the stuff. The only time it seemed okay was the wedding day. And that didn't work well, did it? It's because I don't read the haiku but read Jeff and Kipper's bits. Really? Who's reading the haiku then? Because he sounds a hell of a lot like me. Champagne, fizzy piss, absolutely. I said it was only once that it seemed to make sense, but even then I didn't really like it. No one gets to see what? Horace. Do you want to see him again? Do you want to read the haiku out again for you? Is that what it is? You can do that again if you want. Right, I'll warn you, it's coming up now then. Done. There you go, encore. A bucket of bacine. Oh, Jesus. I couldn't even do a thimble of that stuff, never mind a bucket. Yeah, they're like calling you like Jimmy Two Buckets, bruv, innit? You know what I mean? Fucking heavy stuff, that, man. Did I read it? Mandy, who reads stuff out on this fucking stream? Come on. I don't want to break the illusion or anything here, but everything you hear is me. Everything. I put my phone voice on slightly. Are you saying you didn't hear it? How have you not heard that? It's definitely got the mic is on there, isn't it? Oh, don't say that. You didn't hear it anyway. Oh, right, we're going to have to go back and check one more time. Are you saying I've now got to up the volume for that one thing? Is that what you're saying? Is the volume all right normally? Because it's supposed to be... This is supposed to be the exact same... The same microphone input and volume goes across absolutely everything that I do. I add it all as one source. There's nothing. What? If you can hear me now, you should be able to hear me then. There's something wrong, isn't it, obviously? Does this mean I now have to go in and record every single one of these? I'll have to record myself reading one of these out every time I make one. Nothing came up. Only a who you are. This needs to be looked into. There's no sound on Horace, right? I will look into it. I will look into it. Bizarre. As I say, all these, the camera and the microphone get pasted into each scene as another scene. So if you can hear me in one, you should be able to hear me in all of them. I should watch them back occasionally. I would do, but I just don't want to sit there crying at how awful I am. So nothing came up. There's no sound. There's nothing. Say sorry to Mandy. Sorry, Mandy. Very, very strange. I am going to have to look into it and find out why this is. Otherwise, Horace is getting decapitated tomorrow. Well, he's getting cut out. And in the meantime, he took a jump. He took a jump, man. You're now confused. I think I feel. I thought it was working. It killed me saying sorry. Not at all. I mean, if I meant it, I would have done, but, you know. No, it didn't. If it's not working, it's not working. Simple as. If it's not working, it's not working. Niente. Italian for nothing. Nix, as it is in Dutch, N-I-K-S. It's never worked. Okay, so there's something wrong with that particular that scene. I'll have to rebuild that scene and hope that it's the right thing that's working this bloody time. Ah well, you live and learn. You live and indeed you learn. That would explain why you didn't think I said it when I read it out every single bleeding week. Imagine missing out on my dulcet tones when I'm doing me actual phone voice as well. Normally I do read stuff out. Do you not? I do. I also read Horace out on the same microphone that I'm speaking to in this right now. Weird. There's some weird shizzle going on. But I'll look into it and find out why that is. There's a monitor which shows you the volume that I'm speaking into, and that shows you that the microphone's working. So the input's working. It might just be a problem with the output on it on that particular scene. I will rebuild the scene and we'll take it from there. You thought it was silent reverence for the poetry? Oh. It does deserve reverence, doesn't it? Maybe not silent reverence. Maybe effing and blind and reverence, but... Right, you're glad you understand how you've missed it too, right? So it's... Yes, it's not your fault, it's my fault. This one's on me. Actually, no, it's not. It's nothing to do with me. It's Jeff the prick. Coming over here, causing kerfuffles. I wonder why that is, though. If the input is sound, why is the output shite? I'll have a look one more time before we finish. In a bit. I'll find out why this is. It's my voice. It is my voice. It is. And he sounds really good when he's reading it out. In fact, where is it? Where is it? I'll read it out to you now anyway, so you can put two and two together. I'd like a new suit, navy blue with thin pinstripes. I'd look old school smart. There you go. That's how he sounds. But I do like the fact that you think there should be silent reverence for it, despite the fact that sometimes it's absolute shite. When I say sometimes, I do of course mean always. Oh, that is so weird. It's a bit late reading it now. I was reading it earlier. Now you can get the side stripe suit as well. Very poetic. It's beautiful, it is. He's a talented writer, is Horace. It just makes me read it out for him. And pointless because no fucker can hear it anyway. I blame Jeff. It's always Jeff. Bastard. Ah well. Sub on Twitch. Pointless because no one can hear me. Pointless. No one can see me on there either tonight. Because it's like that and that's the way it is. Am I calling you a fogger? If the cap, that's what so it is. No, of course I'm not. The people in the car park normally call you that. It's not the end of the world. It is the end of the world. It's the highlight of the show and you're missing out on it. The show, what am I talking about, for fuck's sake? It's the highlight of the stream. Highlight of the stream. That is what we are. I know you're a fucker, so you are. So it is. The problem is, when I read it, I still hear my own voice, so I didn't realise there's no sound. I can't hear any sound. Louise, I can't hear a single thing. There's no playback for me. There is nothing. You get the sounds, I don't. Which can be an absolute pain in the arse, to be honest with you. Right, where are we? Is that working? Is it working? We'll do something else instead then. Something similar but completely different. Let's put a cloud over you, as it should do. So something different. Going to do something different instead. You're going to watch something special. Okay. 1 second. I hope you can hear this since we're having problems. Let's record something on this. The reason, the rhyme. 5 things that mean something to me and the reason why. This time, stroke recovery milestones. There you go. One of the upcoming episodes will be stroke recovery milestones. You heard it here first. Literally, you heard it here first. Literally. Quite literally, mate. Quite literally. There you go. That's the camera, looking at the camera, looking at the camera. Now the camera's looking at me. It's not looking at you, it's looking at me. And now it's looking at you. Now I can see you, but I can't see you. If I hadn't said anything about it to Jackie, you'd still be clueless. So would I. If you hadn't have said anything, or you both hadn't have said anything, then we'd have all been clueless. But I'll fix it. There's nothing that can't be unjeffed. Nothing can't be unjeffed. Boss this. I bought this little thing to go round it. And that's got a magnet on the back. So you can stick it on lampposts and film yourself. If that's what tickles your pickle, obviously. Which I did yesterday. And it worked really well. A sneak peek. You've got a sneak peek. No one else on earth has seen that apart from you lot that are in here now. You are truly honoured to watch that. Of course, no other fucker on earth is going to watch the video in the first place, so. The drink that makes you go frigate. It's that drink that makes you go frigate, frigate, frigate. Yeah. Almost had to explain it. What we're doing now, we've just recorded the intro to one of the next Reason the Rhyme videos live on here. And you will recognise that if you watch the video when it comes out. You will see me looking at me when you are looking at me from a different viewpoint. So keep an eye out for the Yes t-shirt and the DJI mic. with the fairy muff. Fairy muff. Why? Why? You will watch it. Kirsty, you're following me on Twitch as well. Fantastic. As they say in Japan. Thank you very much. Mucho apreciado. I am now following you on Twitch as well. Thank you. Yeah. I've always got to find places to do the intros. So why not do an intro here? Thank you, Mandy, for suggesting that. It seemed the right place to pull that out as well then, so to speak. It is petrol green with hints of petrol blue and petrol red. Can't be petrol green. Jaggy, you're so lost now, so you are. What we've done is we've just gone meta. During a live stream, you have seen the filming of the first part of a long form video that will come out soon. I am currently filming 3 episodes that will come out in the next 3 weeks. That was the start of one of them. Just letting you behind the scenes, man. I've done it once before on a beach sunset stream. I quite like you seeing things before other people. Know what I mean? I have got to also fix so that Twitch will stream live as well. Yes, I've just recorded the intro bit for one of the 5 of videos I have. I've recorded... Have I done all 3 of them now? I might have done that, mightn't I? You are not in it. No, you aren't. But when you watch it, those that were in this stream should be able to recognise the fact that you were here while it was being recorded. No one else was, just you people. How great's that? Yes, the camera was pointed at me, away from where you were. I should have turned it round, shouldn't I, and filmed some of the screen, actually. Do you know what, should we do that again? Should we do that again? We could do that again. Hang on. This is a ball ache having to do this, but there you go. Yeah, go on. The camera wasn't pointed towards you, it was pointed towards me. That's how it works. I'm the star, I'm the talent. I'm only joking. But here we go. I'll do it again and I'll involve you as well. Right, are you ready? The reason, the rhyme, 5 things that mean something to me and the reason why. This time, stroke recovery milestones. And by the way, to those that were watching on the stream, there you go. Your names are up in lights. You shouldn't miss the streams. You see all this fantastic stuff behind the scenes. Behind the scenes streams, stream scenes. There you go. You're in it. You're in the next video. As I say, we've gone meta. We've gone totally off script. We've gone meta. Good done and good dusted. You're famous. You're world famous in our street. Do you see how professional that was as well? Just how easy. From stream to video. Like it was nothing. Strange not having to take your clothes off. It must be an absolute, completely change for you when the camera's pointing at you and you're still fully clothed. Jesus. Let's hope it's not a silent movie. Oh, Louise, don't. The one good thing about this particular mic, by the way, is that it records onto this, not just onto the camera. So if something goes wrong with the sound on the camera, it's on there, I can save it. It should be salvageable. DJI Mic 2 in the house. Gingers crossed, Louise. Should be alright. And if not, I will just re-record it on Wednesday when you're all back in here. And then what I'll do is I'll do a panel where you all have to get up live. Keep your clothes on, Jackie. And then you can be on there and then we can do that instead. How's that? You can all be famous on the screen. Should be alright. I say it should be alright. Horace, you should be able to hear his haiku every week. But, you know, you can't because Jeff's a tit. Looks like I've squashed one of Mandy's spuds in a small box. Which one? They're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. But it's nice. Adam, how you doing, bud? Popping in before last orders. No problemo, mate. You're camera shy. You just don't want the police seeing who you are, do you? That's the one. That was her. She was the one hanging out of a window, popping caps in people's asses. Le microphone. Finally over the through 3 weeks of shite. Oh man, I've only had a cold for 3 weeks and it just won't go away. Just a cold though, thankfully, so it's not that much of a pain. Just wish it had sod off. I've had enough of it. Although I do like to taste the lemsip, so it's not a huge big deal, is it? Having the occasional sneezing fit and having loads of lemsip. I'm basically Keith Moon, aren't I? You could make a ninja mask for the microphone. You could. Are they the same size as an S58, SM58, SM57? You should know how big that is, shouldn't you? Because I think it is pretty much. It's the same size as your mic, so try one, see what happens. If it's any good, it's going on. There you go. Pint of water with some apple cider vinegar in it. Oh, very nice. I'm trying to lose weight as well. That's good for that, isn't it? Rough or man flu. Don't be having to go with fellas about man flu because we do get it worse than womenese. Fact, actual fact, we do. Proper rough. Susanna brought it back from England. Nasty oh no. You meant for my little fluffy one? What? My little fluffy what? Oh, sorry, you mean... Oh, right, you mean for that. The little fluffy one. Little fluffy mic. Little fluffy mic. Yeah. It is little, though. I mean, it is proper little. But you can give it a go. You're back on the carnivore diet, gone deep. Meat, salt, coffee and water. What more do you need? That'll keep you going. Oh man. See, I'm that far away from sneezing again, even though I've been alright all the way through this. I blame Jeff. Next. Piggly ding. Piggly ding. Next. Yeah, technically lads have more pain receptors in our brain, so flu hits us a lot harder. Scientifically speaking, it does. And also, women, because they give birth, have to have a higher threshold to pain. So it doesn't affect them anywhere near as much as it affects us. Fact. That is a fact. Actual fact. Will apple cider work? It'll work for something, won't it? Oh, man. Oh, almost sneezed. A little brown cover with a ninja mask. Get on it. Get on it, La. Louise, you and Mandy are on the same wavelength. Not sure that's a good or bad thing, to be honest with you. Trying to hypnotise yourself that food is nutrition and not recreation. It is. Unfortunately, a huge amount of people don't see it that way. I've mentioned this recently because I've got a serious problem with food at the moment. I don't enjoy eating. Genuinely don't. It's literally just I eat to live. Yeah, Mandy, exactly that. I eat to live as well. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. Because I just don't enjoy it. But there are people that will just eat all day long if they can. And then complain about I'm putting weight on. Well, don't have a chocolate bar the size of a fucking iPad then. Apple cider vinegar works wonders on lots of things. It does. It has to be raw with the mother. It's really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. If you find a way to make that work, let Jackie know. She loves eating. Always loves a mouthful. Always does. The snack bar is now closed. Kirsty straight in there. Bollocks to this. You're not all eating constantly. Closed. You would if you could. It's a mindset, isn't it? You need to get around that. You eat to live, you don't live to eat. Same with work as well, I suppose. Had a solid junk food day yesterday. Sometimes it's good to be naughty. Junk food makes you physically sick now, and high carb foods give you the rheumatoid-like pains. It's amazing as soon as you get off something and stay off it for a while, how quickly your body changes and says, I don't need any of that shite at all. That's you every day, Ali. You've got to be careful, though. Got to be really careful eating junk food all the time, because get a blood pressure testing machine. Trust me, you do not want to go down the route that I've gone down. It is not bueno. Louise, you had sweets for breakfast this morning. Are you in practice, are you, in training for Christmas? That's what you do in Christmas, isn't it? Wake up, straight into the Cadbury's Roses. Same for you as well, Kirsty. Quavers, Cadbury's, dessert, mince pies, man. Yeah, Louise, what did you eat? Come on, let us know. Let us get mouth horny. Sweet. I've got goo. I'm going to have a goo when I finish this. How can you stop craving food or chocolate? It's mental, isn't it? Go and get hypnotised. I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky in that case then, that I don't like eating. I find very few things that I eat actually nice. Goo, on the other hand, I do find that nice. I enjoy eating that. Most other stuff I don't. Thought you'd appreciate that style there, definitely, Jackie. Christmas will be difficult. It is, because it's just an overload of sweets and carbs and stuff, isn't it? Potatoes everywhere and this, that and the other. Avoid. Black currant and licorice sweets. That's not too bad. Black currant's a fruit, isn't it? 20 or 5 a day. Donald, beer makes your skin itchy and dry as hell and flaky. Cider and spirits are okay though. Weird the way the body is affected by stuff. It really is. You've a drawer full of cholesterol. Your drawers are full of cholesterol. What are you trying to say there? You've already eaten your flake dessert, you jammy sod. I'm having a speculoos sponge pudding goo when I finish this. And a lemsip. No, that'll have to wait until midnight though. I had that just before we started here, so only every 4 hours, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, it does take time. You've got to go without for at least 30 days so your microbiome has time to alter and the bacteria in your stomach that force you to eat sweet things die off. The body knows what it wants at any given time. You have to train it to be at a point where it doesn't want what you think it wants. Tell it what you want it to know. I don't want any more sweets. I want something more healthy. After a while, it'll be asking for those healthy things. You've got to push through it though, man. Which is why a lot of people come out of hospital after being in there for a while with a completely changed state. If you're struggling with alcohol, you come out, you don't really miss it too much. Some people still do, but you can manage to get away with it from there. If you're used to going and getting packets of crisps and chocolate biscuits and stuff and you're stuck in the hospital for 2 months, it gets out of your system. So it definitely works that way. Black currant is a fruit, it is. Yeah, so you can eat that. You can eat blackjacks. The more sweet stuff you crave, the more bad bacteria you've got in your system. Right, and they're the ones that are being proven to cause dementia and Alzheimer's. Type 3 diabetes, as it's called by doctors. Yep. Hot or cold? Is that me? Sorry, the pudding is cold, but it's really nice. Definitely food for thought. Kirsty's now going to get a bowl of cereal, which is good for you. Blackjacks make your tongue all purpley black as well, don't they? What cereal have we got? Oh, you've read about that as well. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? The body does things, and if it wants more of something, it will try and convince you, I want this now, I want it, I want more of it. And then you can never get enough of it. Keep shoveling more and more in until you end up badly ill. Ali, you haven't had blackjacks in donkey's years. Get yourself on them. Frosted wheat's the only cereal in the house. I've got blueberry wheats. Near frost, just blueberry. There's huge amounts of stuff out there, isn't there, if you have a look. I had to read that twice there. Donald, what's the ingredients in it that affects your skin? Yes, had to read it twice. Man, you preferred fruit salad to blackjacks? I think, is that going to be a Marmite thing? Is it a 50-50? With your 10 pence mix? Did you go for the blackjacks or the fruit salads? I was always fruit salads as well. Right, so it's probably yeast or wheat or both. Not good. Does it affect you in any other foods? That doesn't look like you were asking that question. Does it affect you in anus? Make no promises because your previous attempts weren't good, but you're going to try and do carnival for 12 months. But you don't need to make any promises to anyone, do you? Not even yourself. It's making the effort and seeing how you feel after a while. But we're bombarded as well, aren't we? Just as a society, we're bombarded with this is what you should be eating, this is what you should be drinking. There's just no getting away from it. Like you say, Christmas is a fucker of a time to do it as well. Where everyone's sat around eating stuff that smells really nice. Five skin. Yeah. Bread doesn't really agree with you either. Same effect when you get bloated. Yeah, so it could definitely be a yeast celiac. Bad stuff, man. Bad stuff. I don't eat much bread myself, to be honest with you. Cut out potatoes because I don't like them. Yeah, Jackie, you were asking about wheat and yeast, but Anu, does it affect your Anu? In your Anu, made it look as though you're asking something bizarre, to be honest with you. You are slipping. You're tired. You done well to make it this long, though, haven't you? To be honest. You normally soar in logs by this point. Biscuits are okay, yeah. Man, you stopped having sugar in coffee now. If anyone gives you coffee with even a little bit in, it makes you gag. It's just getting yourself used to it. I was the same with, I went off cow milk onto almond milk. Because if I try to have milk nowadays, normal or full fat milk or something, I can taste it. You feel it in your mouth. You're just not used to it anymore. Because everything's, oh, what's happened there? Screen just started doing bizarre stuff. Oh well, here we go. You love bread and their brothers and sisters. It's good and filling, I suppose, isn't it? That's why people eat it. But after a while, just, I don't know. I'm a picky eater anyway, obviously, at the moment. Yeah, it's so easy when you think of it. What did we eat 15,000 years ago? We weren't vegan or vegetarian. We make small animals, fish, seafood and game. We can catch it and drink water. That's how we have evolved. Evolved up until a certain point, and then we started putting stuff in us that made companies money rather than make us healthy. Get sunlight, go for long walks, get off the shit, man. Yep. You'd be surprised, I think, how quickly you can make yourself feel a lot better by cutting certain things out of what you eat. And stay away from tellies and go out and do a bit of a walk. A walk in nature, real nature. I know not now, obviously, because it's still a wee bit belly goat gruff out there. Bread was always okay, but you gave it up to lose weight and now you can't eat it. Strange, isn't it? Should become the guru. Yep. Get out there and make some bloody money off it. You're the same with salt too. Some food, it's all you can taste. Your taste become heightened towards things. And especially if you get off them and don't have them for a while. Suddenly go, do you know what? I've not had this for a while and I can taste it everywhere. Kirsty, like that. Oh, you said that, haven't you? You did that with onions. Are you thinking of training as a naturopath? It's worth having a go, mate. If you can help people out, definitely worth having a go. Is a carnivore diet just meat and fish? Used to love until he made you ill. That's a pain in the arse, isn't it? Especially if it's something you actually do enjoy and then all of a sudden you can't have it anymore. Just why not pick something I don't bloody like? We ate nuts and berries as cave people too. Hunters and gatherers we did. The animal-based foods, one ingredient foods, water, eggs, coffee's okay for some. Depending on where you lived and only in the autumn. Omnivores, weren't we, at one point? Which is why we have every type of teeth. All the teeths. But I'm sorry, I'm not giving up goo. I don't care. Goo is too important. Goo is life, man. Goo is life. I'm definitely having the speculoos one. Definitely. Tried an onion the other week, ended up with an itchy, tingling sensation in your mouth. Very weird. Do you know what? I don't eat loads of bread, like I say. I do occasionally, not all the time. Sometimes if I eat bread, I have the same thing where it feels like I've got cramp in the roof of my mouth. really strange feeling. Know what I mean? All the teats. We have all the teats. Nuts, winter, fruits and berries, summer. Where does goo fit in with that, though? Yeah, well, you're not preaching. Yeah, you don't come across as being preaching anyway. You're just talking. Throw the ball. It's up to you whether you catch it or ignore it. Exactly. It is an allergic reaction. There's something in, isn't there? There's something in onions which is quite, I don't know, what you call it? It creates quite a lot of issues with people. Can't remember what it was, but there's something in it. And it's something that obviously can affect you later on in life. So you could have been eating onions all your life and all of a sudden go past 20 and your body changes and it suddenly decides, no more of that. What fruits grew wild in the summer, not planted? There's got to be some. They just drop off trees and things, don't they? Got to be somewhere. Ammonia, is that what it is that causes the issue? Get it with oranges and kiwi fruit, was tested and you're allergic. There's got to be something in it, man. Raw garlic is great. Oh, man. It's supposed to be really healthy for the heart, isn't it? The damn doctor a few years ago said that you can't be allergic to onions. Should have punched him in the face and said you can't be in pain from a fist. You started it. Oh, man. Wild strawberries are great. They are tiny, but they are lovely. Ali, you're thinking you could be wrong. No, you're not wrong. Blackberries, you're constantly fighting a blackberry vine on the other side of your fence. You can be allergic to anything you eat. Yep. Ridiculous statement for him to make. As a person of medicine, they should know these things. You can literally be allergic to anything. The body doesn't like it. The body will tell you it doesn't like it. Fuckers. Go and cause GERD. Oh. Anyway. 11:05 and I'm hungry. Ik heb honger, jongen. So I need to go and start having some snackage. Don't we? Don't we? So you know what time that is, don't you? You know what time this is now. When the screen goes clear, the time is here. In it though, fam. You start coming in earlier. You do. We've had so much fun today. As always.
Another great night here at the Dales Pause. Folks, go give yourself a round of applause. We've had a good chat and told the odd joke. Now get in our hot tub for a post-stream soak.
And that's that.
Hoo-yah!